All right. Welcome to winter quarter. I'm Judith Paquette. I'm your teacher. This is Accounting 202. I hope you're in the right class. If not, feel free to go to your other class. This class was supposed to be held online. It was supposed to be held in room R103, Monday, Wednesday, 10:30 to 12:20, and Friday on Zoom. 10:30 to 11:30. And now with the COVID-19 Omicron variant, we are meeting online. So I'm going to try and record this class in about half hour, 40-minute intervals. So it's a little bit broken up. And then if you have to miss a class or you want to go back over material, you'll be able to do that. And if anybody needs closed captioning, go ahead and activate it. So, or if anybody prefers it. So. Okay, so here's me. I'm your teacher. This is when the weather's warmer, and I think I was picketing for something. I can't remember what. Yes, that's great. Okay. I do love all these things. All right. So we're going to spend the quarter talking about the second half of financial accounting. And the good news is if you took Accounting 201 last fall at Bellevue College, you would have already had access to the textbook, so you don't have to buy a new textbook, and you would already have access to the access code for our online homework, Wiley Plus. So this is just the second half of that book. So Accounting 201 is more about learning basic small bookkeeping for a small business. And that seems pretty intuitive for most of us. And I think a lot of the Accounting 201 classes do a unit, a miniature project on Monopoly. And so you kind of get a feel for how a small business does its transactions and then creates its statements. Okay. Accounting 202 is more high-level finances for a corporation. So Accounting 201 might feel really familiar. Accounting 202 is going to be more delving into the rest of the balance sheet. And it's really more for those of you that are interested in finance. Finance is different than accounting. It really has more of a feel of financing. So, and it does help you analyze a business better. It does help you understand how money gets into a business and what money is used and to create profit. Okay, so we're going to start out with just a quick look at the balance sheet here, and then we'll go, I want to go over the syllabus and all that, but before we do anything, so the plan for today is that we will do, go over the housekeeping, the syllabus, big picture about the class, and then we will do some Accounting 201 review concepts. Because even though it's been 3 weeks since final exam, it's always good to start out with a review. And I'm going to use the chat a lot for you to make comments. And I ask that you participate in the chat so that I can give you credit for attendance today. And that's the only way I know you're really here. And then we'll do some breakout rooms toward the middle end of class to work on some Accounting 201 review journal entries. Okay. So first chat question for you guys. What do you remember from Accounting 201? And I don't mean numbers. I mean, what do you remember in terms of a big concept that was new to you in Accounting 201? It could be a vocabulary term. It could be a short concept. So take a second and drop in the chat what you learned in Accounting 201. And you can send it direct chat it to me and I can read them off so that so it's okay if you repeat stuff. Okay. All right. Ooh, yay. Okay, we've got journal entries, bank recon, balance sheet. I guess that's a new concept. Oh, hi, Micah. I didn't see you come in the room. Everything regarding basic accounting. Brianne, balance sheet, Katya, adjusting journal entry. Yes. Zamzam, hi. Balance sheet. Julie, hi. The accounting equation. Awesome. Assets equals liabilities plus stockholders' equity. Ryoji, income statement and balance sheet. Chase, adjusting journal entries. Otto, intangible assets. Yeah, pretty weird. Annie, financial statements. So the balance sheet's really popping up here. Alexis, balance sheets. Zachary, all the different accounts. Credits and debits. Yeah, we haven't mentioned those yet. Yeah, don't forget those. Ridwan, closing entries. Pari, where did I lost you, Pari? Where did you go? Balance sheet, common stock. Yeah, that's a new concept. And we're gonna look at some companies today for a quick writing exercise at about 11 o'clock, 11:15, and you're gonna do a quick writing thing for me. Helena, cash is never touched regarding adjusting journal entries. Yes. Good, good. Ronnie, perpetual versus periodic. Yes. Oh, you guys did remember, like Jeffrey, JR, sorry. Difference between what entries are debits and credits. Yes. Cole, accumulated depreciation. We're going to talk more about accumulated depreciation in chapter 9. Closing journal entries. Yes. Good, good, good. Oh, you haven't forgotten. Yay. You can imagine how traumatic this is for me when students take accounting 201 in spring quarter, and then we have to come back in fall and try to remember. So as a teacher, those are always the dark moments in my life. So, all right. So in accounting 202, we're going to walk down the balance sheet, and we've already touched on, at the end of accounting 201, we've already touched on cash in chapter 7. And inventory in chapters 5 and 6, but we're going to move towards accounts receivable, long-term assets, liabilities, current and long-term, and stockholders' equity, retained earnings, and we're also going to get more into the different types of dividend transactions. And finally, after we've exhausted the balance sheet, we're going to go look at the cash flow statement. And we did look at the cash flow statement briefly, I think, in accounting 201, and I told you we're going to come back to that. So now we're going to come back to that. And so my hope is that I can squeeze in a Excel computer assignment, lab assignment, where you guys will be able to do some future value of investments and how much money your money can grow into over the next 10, 20, 30 years with the idea of retirement. I know you're all very young and retirement is a long way away, but this is a good time to start figuring out how retirement works, because time is on your side when it comes to saving money when you're in your 20s. And of course, we'll do a project. So a company's balance sheet talks a lot about resources, assets, and its funding sources, and of course, cash at the end of it all. So, all right, we talked about a little bit about the rules of debit and credit, assets, and my general mnemonic way you can remember this is that the accounting equation, assets equals liabilities plus stockholders' equity. I expand my accounting equation to include plus revenue minus expenses minus dividends, so that we can lay out the accounts under each of those categories. For right now, under dividends, we only have one account, but we're going to find out there's actually more dividend accounts. Okay, so debit, assets are on the left side of the equation, debits are on the left. Liabilities and stockholders' equity are on the right side of the equation. Remember, credit has an R in it. It's on the right side. So liabilities, we increase with a credit. Stockholders' equity accounts, common stock retained earnings, we increase with a credit. And then revenue, we increase with a credit. And sales, all the revenue accounts. Well, it's true, the expense and dividends are also on the right side of the equation. They're subtracted, so you reverse the sign. So we debit to increase those. And we'll go over more of this later, but I just wanted to point that out again. Okay. All right. So the way I like to teach is I give a brief demonstration brief explanation, and then a brief demonstration, and then I give you an exercise to practice, typically in small classroom groups, but for Zoom, we're going to do breakout rooms. And I'm still working on your team assignments. So I'm going to break you up into, not today, I'm going to break you up into classroom teams. And I know from last quarter that some of you were on great teams, some of you were on really good teams, some of you were on teams that could use some improvement. So I will be mixing the teams up a little bit. And so be aware of that. So that will just be for our breakout time in the classroom. Otherwise, we'll just be in the main Zoom room. Yeah, I know. Some of you are going to ask for the same team back again. Thanks, Micah. I understand that, but I like to mix things up a little bit. So, okay. So let's do a quick whip around here. No, I don't want to do that. Never mind. You already did that for me. I'm going to skip that one. Okay. Okay. So how best to learn, and we are going to go over the syllabus and the classroom stuff, but most students do not ever open their textbooks. I'd like to encourage you to start doing that now as you prepare for moving on from Bellevue College or into your 300 level classes at Bellevue College. So I found that when I started reading a textbook, I actually got better grades. So you don't have to read the chapter backwards and forwards, although I have had students say they do read the chapter multiple times. But I do recommend you take a look at the textbook before class. This is like learning math, and it's because there's a lot to learn and that involves calculations. It's just best to do a lot of practice. So our textbook is awesome, and I know a lot of you are doing the online text, and it's identical to the physical text. I love the physical textbook because I put markers in it and tabs in it, and I highlight it. And I'm a very tactile learner. I like to handle things and develop that muscle memory. But however way you have your textbook, at the back of each chapter, there are problems, demonstration problems with solutions. And that's a great start resource for practicing problems. Cover up the solution and then practice the problem. There's also additional multiple choice questions in the back with solutions. And then for our homework, you'll go to the Wiley Plus website and do the homework. But I also create practice homework for you there, which are very similar problems that you can practice on and do more than once as you prepare to do the homework or as you prepare for the exam. And I also do practice exams. So use all that material, but it does mean that you're going to have to spend and invest some time in practice. Okay, so let's look at the syllabus. Okay, let's go here. We're going to change the screen share. Let's see, new share. And it is gone. Let's see. Let's go to our course website first. All right. So here's our website here. And for those of you that had me for Accounting 201, I'm trying to create a very similar look and feel to the website, which means that it takes less time to adapt to my class, which is good. So I've got links to the syllabus, units and modules, grading and outcomes here. And then the syllabus here is very similar, and it's got all the details of the course. And if you want a real quick list of assignments here, just go all the way to the bottom of the screen and you'll see course summary, and it gives you all the assignments in the proper, in the order that they're due. Okay. All right. But I want to go to the actual syllabus document. So let's do that. Okay. Can you guys see the syllabus, the Word document? Yes? Can anybody see the syllabus? Go ahead and say yes or no.
Yes.
Thank you, Julie. All right. So this is just a printout of the syllabus, and then I added a bunch of other things in the back. So we have that there. Okay. No, this is the wrong syllabus. I'm so sorry. Let's get to the right class. Let's get there. 201, don't want that. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's a bigger syllabus. All right. Can you still see the syllabus? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. All right. Got a lot of yeses here. Thanks, everybody. All right. All right, so I am going to, no, I'm not yet. All right, I want to walk us through the syllabus real quick here. So you have to be pretty strong in your accounting confidence from chapters 1 through 7 in the book. I really want you to be able to do a journal entry, understand T accounts, be able to do a statement. We're not going to be doing a lot of full accounting cycle going forward, but we are going to do a lot of journal entries and a lot of, is this a balance sheet account? Is this an income statement account? So I really want you to feel comfortable with that. So I'm going to be giving you a Accounting 201 review packet called Cornelian Window Washing, and it'll be due next Monday. And it's really going to be a comprehensive accounting cycle, one more time, just to kind of hone in all those concepts. Okay. All right. So let's see, rules. Here's my office hours. And this is the same link for my office hours as for our class. And I'm not setting up a separate link unless we start getting Zoom bombed or something, but I don't expect it. So I changed, for those of you that had me last quarter, I made Monday at office hours, I changed it to afternoon. The Tuesday office hours essentially are for my online section, but you're certainly welcome to come to them. And my online section is Accounting 201. But if you have a quick question, don't hesitate to drop in for that. Wednesday will be the only early morning session. And then Thursday will be 1:30 again. And again, if you have any questions and just want to hang out after class, just let me know and I will stick around unless I have a meeting to go to or a commitment. All right. Please use Canvas. I check it regularly. I really do check Canvas all the time. So we're good to go on that. So, all right. So let's go look at the course page again. So go to units and modules for all your assignments. So you can do a couple things. You can look at that course summary at the bottom of the syllabus, or you can go to units and modules. There's a link here. There's a link in the tab. And this should look really familiar to those of you that had me last quarter. So this is kind of an overview of our course right here. So we have our getting started that we'll walk through, chapter 8, chapter 9. There will be an exam on these two chapters, 8 and 9. There will be, the next unit will be chapter 10, as well as appendix in the back of chapter 10. Appendix G, which is in the back of the entire textbook. And then chapter 11, which is on stockholders' equity. And so another midterm here, statement of cash flow. Chapter 13 is sort of a wrap-up chapter. There's you've been learning it. Most of what is in, half of what is in chapter 13 you will have already learned, and that is ratios, horizontal analysis, where you look at 1 or 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and talk about whether a company has gotten better or worse over time. Okay. I did add 2 new links here, one for projects and one for extra credit opportunities, just so that they can stand out and you can get to them easily. Okay. And then my office hours. Okay. So let's look at getting started. Okay. All right. So tasks, and then the Cornelian window washing assignment. There's a syllabus quiz. You're going to introduce yourself, and then making sure you register for Wiley Plus, okay? If you haven't already done that. So the question is the final exam, will it be the last 2 chapters or the sum of everything? It will be comprehensive, the sum of everything. It'll be from chapters 8 through 13. So same as Accounting 201. Okay. All right. So purpose, these are the assignments, and then these are the readings and videos. And so it's in the chat. Can you tell me how you know what assignment is due when? What is your preferred way of knowing when something is due? In other words, when you're in my class or in any other class, how do you find out something's due? Okay, this is good. Okay. Okay. Dashboard. So it's like whatever's due today. Is that, Otto, is that on your phone or on a computer? You're on mute. On the dashboard, Canvas, calendar, dashboard, calendar. You are looking at the calendar. Okay. And when you look at the calendar, are you looking at it on your phone or on your computer? Computer. Thank you, Otto. Phone app. Yes. Both. I'm sorry, Otto. I have to get my tonsils out too. I'm so sorry. All right. All right. Yeah. So the phone app for Canvas drives me crazy. I use it myself, but it does not take you to a home screen. It takes you to a dashboard screen. So you don't even see this unless you go click on the home screen. So just be aware that the units and modules might be buried a little farther if you're using your phone. Okay. All right. All right. So let's go back to the PowerPoint because. All right. So we are not an online class officially. We're an on-campus class. We will be doing proctored exams. And I've scheduled the proctored exams. They're on the calendar. The first one is scheduled for January 26th in our classroom. So my goal is that we will make that deadline, which will be about at the 3.5-week mark. Okay. Textbook same. Homework will be on Wiley Plus. Syllabus, calendar. The first page of the calendar is attached to the syllabus, so you can just print that out. And something I do in my classes is I have a course pack, and the course pack is under Getting Started, and it's about 100 pages, and we use it every day in class. So you need to print that out. And last quarter, Helena had a great idea. She just put it on a USB stick. I think that's what you did. You'll have to correct me, but she sent the job over to like Kinko's and they printed it for her for like $20. And they put a spiral tab on it. And we just use it every day because, like I said, I really like having you guys practice the concept right away. So it's not like you come to class and you hear a lecture, and then you have to go in a breakout room and you have to practice it. And that's where your problem is. If you already paid for Wiley Plus last quarter, you just use your same access code to get into this class. Okay. So hopefully you still have that access code and you can just get right into it. If you have forgotten your access code, I'm sure there's a way you can contact Wiley Plus and say, hey, I have an access code, I just don't remember it. So should work. The access code, I believe, is good for up to a year. Okay. PowerPoint slides, you can download those off my screen. I have them under every unit. And then I have some narrated PowerPoint slides for Accounting 202. And this is the book, same book as last quarter. Okay. So I'm going to switch to PowerPoint so we don't have to go back and forth to Canvas. So you should be able to see all these links, but we're going to spend most of our time in units and modules. Okay. And I have to tell you to read the syllabus, but I think in general that the top part of the syllabus is where most of the information that you need is. The other half of the syllabus is college policies. So you can print out your syllabus. All right. Units and modules, we talked about those. And then getting started. So you can see the tasks are things that are for points. So begin Accounting 201 review, it's due on Monday. Take the syllabus quiz, post your introduction, and so forth. And then these are the videos. I even have a video for what we're doing today. Okay, so. All right, so here we are under Chapter 8. So again, get kind of an overview, same layout, just to keep things going so that you're not having to relearn things in terms of every chapter's unit looks the same. Okay, so your homework, your tasks are up here, and then your reading and videos are down here. And you can download my PowerPoint slides. Sometimes students like to download the slides and take notes on them. And this green and orange button here, it tells you whether you've watched a video or not. So it's kind of a nice way to keep track of it. It's green if you haven't watched it, and then it's yellow if you have. So, all right, Chapter 9, same layout. Okay. So mostly it's chapter homework, chapter quiz, and then a practice homework. The practice homework does have points. The regular homework is about 3 points, and the chapter homework is like 0.3 points. So it's just a good source for you to be able to do that, to get more practice in. Okay, how do we do exams? Yeah, we already talked about that. Videos, we already talked about that. To get to the Wiley Plus website, you go to the Wiley course resources, click on that, and then you need to register for my class. And you'll be able to do it through Chapter 8 homework practice. You can just go in there and it'll ask you for your access code. Okay. So just like Accounting 201, I do have a lot of assignments. They're low points, but they do add up. And so the reason for the homework and the quiz is just to keep you on track so that you're not doing all your studying the night before the test. Hopefully you're doing studying the night before the test, but you're not doing all your studying the night before the test. Okay. And please don't hesitate to come and see me if you're having any issues with deadlines or anything. So group project, we will do a group project again. It will look a little bit similar to last quarter in that you'll have a team, you'll make a contract, you'll do a progress report, all of that. The content of the project will be geared more towards the material in the second half of the book. So it'll be similar, but similar format, but different content. And then you'll do a paper, and you'll compare 2 companies, and you'll say which company is better. You'll do this on a team. You'll make a PowerPoint presentation and notes. You'll have some questions about the business model, not financial, but just overall business model. And you'll do a class presentation. And you guys did great presentations last quarter. And if for any reason we end up being online for that, we'll do the class presentations on Zoom. Okay. And then you'll do personal reflections on the project. So that should feel pretty similar to you. So I use the calendar. You can click on the calendar. I actually print the calendar out for myself, and I highlight when I've finished grading something. And as I said, you can go to the link on the syllabus, the online syllabus, and go to the bottom and get a list of assignments as well. All right. We do have dedicated tutors. There's a Teams link on the homepage, and the business leadership community gets funding that pays for the Business Study Center tutors. They are tutors that have taken our classes, so they're very familiar with us. Please use them. Our goal this quarter is to get back on campus with our tutoring lab as well, and that's right next to my office. So hopefully that'll happen by the end of the month. And then we'll also have we'll have live tutors as well as online tutors. Okay. I think we talked about that. Yeah, all right. So business leadership community has a Facebook and an Instagram page. And I also have links on my units and module pages for extra credit. And so we have some upcoming events with the business leadership community. Let's see if I can bring them up. Here we go. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So if we go to units and modules, we have spend an hour in the Business Study Center working with the tutor, and then see the homepage for the link. And then there's an assignment where you can make some comments about your experience there. Okay. We have a guest speaker coming in, Ambassador Pamela Spratlin, and there's a small essay assignment that you would have there with that. And so you upload that. And so each extra credit opportunity is like 2 points, and it maxes out at 6 points per quarter. But it's just a good way to find out more information about careers in business or other types of things you can do with a business degree. And then this quarter, we're having, I'm going to click on it. We have, for students who are interested in applying to business school, whether it's University of Washington, Bothell, or Seattle, Tacoma, they require that you take a writing exam. And so we prepare you for that by doing practice exams. And so we have 3 practice exam sessions, January 13th, February 9th, February 28th. And there's some information sessions you can attend. And then you get a chance to see your results and practice some more. So if you are, who is thinking about applying to University of Washington? Anybody? Just say me in the chat. This is a great thing to do to prepare, because the this counts for 35% of your admission. It's like a, oh, I see a lot of yeses there. Yeah, it counts for 35% of your admission. And so it's a 90-minute exam that you have to take. And if you are planning to apply in February to University of Washington, remember there's 2 applications. February, I can't remember the date, February 15th, I think, to University of Washington general admission, and then April 5th, I think, to apply to a Foster School of Business. Part of that application is you have to schedule your writing skills assessment exam. And so schedule it as late as possible and go through these mock exams. They will really help you figure out. Oh, for construction management, you do not have to take the writing skills assessment. I will say, though, that all the universities that we work with, Seattle U, Washington State University, Western Washington University, they all beg us to teach more writing. So even if you're not planning to go to the University of Washington or you're going to a different program, these classes really help kind of focus your writing skills a little better. So, and it's, the exam itself is 90 minutes. So the mock exam is 90 minutes. There's 2 essay questions. One's a position and one's a persuasion essay. And it can be a little intense. So it's good to get some tips and go to the information and class, and then it's good to actually recreate the exam. And you can do it at home, but you want to recreate the testing conditions there. So all of that's really good. So I don't have a poster yet for the ambassador, but the goal of the business leadership community is, she will be January 25th at 3 p.m. and that'll be on Zoom. But the goal of the business leadership community, the reason it was formed was because students really wanted to know more about what do they do with a business degree. And so it's really important after you transfer to have some better ideas, so you have a little more focus after you transfer. And so now's the time to figure that out, not necessarily to make a final decision, but to just kind of find out about different careers. And it's also time to figure out what your strengths are, because that's going to impact what your career choices are. What will you focus on? All right. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video for a second. Let me do that if I can figure out how. not.